Excellent, and welcome to Truth in Telecoms. Boy, it's been a hectic week. Johnny, how are you?
I'm excited. I mean, to get everything behind us here.
Exactly.
Really a lot to discuss. I mean, gloves are off. I put out that post just now. Robert Viz, you've been banned on YouTube. You got us banned. We got out of the penalty box for
Yeah.
election nonsense, and now
Yeah.
your video was shocking material. So
Yes.
I guess you stabbing everybody to death on pricing was shocking. I didn't see you doing anything, physical. I didn't see dead bodies, but
No,
your shocking video. So,
it's
Viz,
crazy.
thanks. You owe us one. Got to come back and redo. Well, now we're going to go on X. There's so much to talk about. You got Mobile World Congress. You got all the Twilio stuff that went on this week
Yeah.
with the money grab and
Yes.
Legion Partners now coming to LinkedIn and
That's
all
right.
other stuff. But the big story for me that leads into the bigger story is the Czar.
Yes.
I mean,
excellent
the
post.
Czar is the star. I mean, this guy comes out of nowhere, and I had tried to reach him much earlier than that. But that's when I was talking to attorneys regarding, hey, how can they collude to do this? And they're like, no, you don't want to talk to that guy, and because these guys wanted to file a lawsuit on Twilio and the CPaaS companies for spam. And I'm like, look, it's not their fault.
Exactly.
It's their fault. They're doing it. They're making money on it.
Yeah.
But who's really not closing the door?
Exactly.
The operators. Like, I keep asking the question, why was the campaign registry created? Under what premise was it created? What was told to all these companies on why we're doing this? We'll get back to that, which really is just switching the A to P fees, but it's supposed to stop spam. But then the campaign registry just clarified that with their letter. But I mean, Eric J. Troutman, I mean, what a pleasure to have. I mean, I've Marcillian, who's making some comments, and I think he got banned. I think the Czar banned him. And I'm like, look, hey, Czar, listen, he's not a bad guy. He may speak his own mind, but Marcillian's a good guy. But I'm just going to let you know that he's a good guy. I've known him for many years, but you do what you got to do. But here's a guy, the Czar, who's been helping companies, going out of his way and helping small businesses. I mean, this guy is a thorn in his side. I hear the FCC, the FTC, the lawyers over there are not too fond of him, but he keeps winning.
Yes,
the guy keeps winning, and he keeps telling you he's winning, and he keeps telling you he's the smartest guy out there. I mean, I was watching a little podcast with him. He's got nicknames for all his people: the Duchess, Queenie, whatever, the Viscerator, or something like that.
Exactly.
I mean, I absolutely love it. So we got the bird that comes flying in, and now we got the Czar. I mean, this is what we need. Instead of SMS oligarchs hiding in their basement saying, no, we're not sending spam. What are you talking about? Ooh, we shouldn't do that.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, but it was his analysis of TCR's response to Rick Joyce's FCC filing was just
spot on.
Oh, it was beautiful.
Entertaining
and excellent.
And everybody else wants to look away, and then you can basically tell them what. Now look. We've gotten cease and desist. Alan put a post out that somebody came to his house with not even a subpoena. It's like, hey, we compel you to come here and testify. He hasn't even met Bill Peters.
Yeah.
So you know what? Gloves are off. Everything's coming out here. Alan, discuss what you have in your hands and what you're going to be releasing today.
Right. So it all stems from the repost I did of Eric's great analysis on TCR's response to Rick Joyce's FCC filing. And within 24 hours, I'd had like 100 people looking at my profile, lots of feedback in terms of supporting what we're doing in trying to get truth out there. And then late last night, I received a couple of documents. And they're clearly being circulated around the internet. One of them was Bill Peters' cover letter for the material, it's a dossier, to Tata back in July last year. And
which by the way, Bill sent that to Goodwin Procter, campaign registry guys, all guys at Tata. I have it because I was negotiating with Avi against it, and I've been telling you all the stuff in there.
Yep, exactly.
So, I was going to put it out anyhow myself. So
no
secret. secret potion, because I'm done. I'm
Yeah.
done with you guys. Avi, done. Our love affair is over. Big law, all you big law
Yeah.
firms,
Yeah.
we're coming for you guys. But get into some of the contents of it that was not in Bill Peters' complaint.
Exactly.
Now we're just gonna throw the kitchen sink.
Yeah.
Come and investigate.
Yeah, absolutely. Because that for me was, the first and the big one from my perspective is the carrier's named. So T-Mobile is named as the carrier that was involved in the discussion around election interference.
Well,
So,
all these recordings that they want to get from us, go investigate it, T-Mobile.
yeah,
Go see what's going
Yep.
on over there.
Yep.
You have to understand something. Bill Peters went to the SEC, to CFIUS, the FBI, the NSA. How do you
Yes.
even go to the NSA? Like, what? Where's the NSA? Like, they're just in the sky. He's gone to all these places under penalty of perjury,
Yes.
and he's being locked into a kangaroo court
Yes.
arbitration hearing
Yep.
for wrongful termination. So we're being summoned
Yes.
on a wrongful termination. You didn't even know Bill Peters, nor
Back
me
then. Yeah.
back then. I hunted you down because you wrote that thing about Tintech. I'm like, oh, he's friends with Thorsten. Let me go find this guy. And then I find you now 37 podcasts later.
Yep.
And here's we are. But I mean, look, all that information, did not come out in the lawsuit.
No.
What's ironic about it, it was in the I think it was in the original lawsuit, and I think the outside counsel must have kept it. I'm not really
Exactly.
sure what happened there.
Yeah.
But and funny, like 15 hours before it, Real Clear Policy did that story with on Aegis.
Yes.
So look, we're not political here. And
No.
and then they come out and they call Rick Joyce a xenophobe. Rick Joyce is xenophobe. His family's from Rick Joyce is the kindest, sweetest guy ever. This guy was a chair at Venable for 30-something years. This guy went to the United States Coast Guard and was the chief counsel, head of cybersecurity for the U.S. Coast Guard for 4 years. With the highest security clearance you can get. But you, Latham Watkins, who just came in, along with Littler and along with Wilkie Farr before that, you want to talk about big law, Czar? We have big law 101 here. They've spent millions of dollars trying to suppress what? And then Tata comes in with the big cover-up. So Tata had an opportunity to clear this up.
Yes.
They had an opportunity to talk to Bill, but they decided, let's bury him.
Exactly. That's
Let's bury the American Air Force Major. Let's bury all this stuff. And then they come out right away. And what do? They send a letter out. I mean, the data privacy issues here, the stuff that Troutman brought up, because he's the only one with a brain out there. Eric, no, you are probably the smartest guy in the industry, but that's not saying much considering the bobos around us. All the guys, including the other attorneys, including all these organizations and all these carriers. You're all full of it. One big racket. But I'll let you continue on some of the things that strike you, because people are going to read for themselves.
Exactly. I mean, I'll get it out there, once we get the video wrapped up. But, again, just to restate, Carrier's been named. Also, Tata has been sat on this since July. And I've advised multiple times they must urgently research what's going on there. And, they just sat on it. And the other thing that I discovered from what you told me, Johnny, is that in the election interference case, that came from a Cinch VP for North America.
Yeah, so Cinch VP of North America wants to decide who can get messages where.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, they're notified. I mean, look, Cinch is a hub in the USA.
Yeah,
Sweden's a NATO country. I'm not going to get into who can own what, where, and when.
Yeah,
but the campaign registry, it's insanity.
Yes,
that this is owned.
Exactly.
I mean, first of all, it's owned by foreign ownership. It doesn't even have an American employees.
Yes.
The whole tech team, and then the CFIUS report. Yep. China is in there now, probing. They're probing right now.
Exactly.
Read it. Read for yourself.
Yeah, that CFIUS submission from Bill. I mean, it's frightening. And look, Rick Joyce has been saying this.
Rick Joyce has gone to the highest levels. Him and the admiral. These guys are big. They're dumbfounded by the whole thing. But you have to understand the level of powerful lawyers.
Yes.
Avi Katz is the guy that wiped out $7 billion on 5 SPACs. When I said in prior podcasts, he's smarter than everybody. Funny, he wipes out $7 billion of shareholders' money. SBF is now paying back everybody, but he's doing 116 years. But Avi Katz will never go anywhere. He's just too smart for everybody.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And he pulled
Amazing.
Tata's pants down. Tata thought they were getting an amazing deal, but they were just bailing out an imminent bankruptcy.
Exactly.
And a delisting.
That's right.
But, you know, look, all this information is going to come out. Bill is caught going through the process. They still haven't ruled on his lawsuit.
Yeah.
But you know what? All bets are off. All bets are off. And nobody's talking about the frame job. The guys at the campaign registry tried to frame him. Littler, Soren, you guys tried to frame Bill Peters. You know it. You got caught. Tried to put in many documents. And when I talk about my love affair with Avi, I'm going to reiterate. I got back in. Bill reported all the infractions to Avi because we didn't think Avi was involved with the yo-yo Italians that are already on a boat somewhere, robbing all kinds of money over here and saying, you can't come get us. We're in Italy. Another story.
Exactly. Right? Yeah, that was an 10K filing. It was crazy.
And then Bill fires his first lawyer because he was corrupt. Because Littler is sick. Littler is the top employment lawyer in the country.
Correct.
Starbucks, Google, they all hire this guy when they want to bury people. They hire Littler. Powerful firm. They might be behind some of the suppression that we're getting on YouTube. It could come from a lot of places. Although I think the Viz is on his own. I think there are a lot of people angry at him. He kind of flew over and crapped on everybody, and he's doing great.
Yeah, he's changed the industry.
But Bill reported all this stuff to Calera, made an offer because originally, remember, I was brought in by the campaign registry management.
Yes,
I got a call from Bill on a Wednesday. Hey, they're going to let us do a management buyout. We tried to sell the company to Twilio. Twilio didn't want it. So right away, I called the guys at Twilio. What's going on here? Yeah, they want 100 million, but we already got an 80% discount. It doesn't matter. We've already got a head start on everybody. And, you know, we're going to pass on that. We're not going to pay 100. Maybe I'd pay 30 to shut it down because Calera, the guys at Calera, the Italians knew, and this is what their words, Soren's words, that basically it was costing Twilio 300 million a year in spam. I don't know if that's the number. They're not making 300 million a year in spam, but they're making quite a bit of money on it because they can't control it.
Exactly.
They can't control their customers.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. So I love the industry. Everybody's like, shh, but they laugh behind the scenes because they're all sending spam, which you got to put that pig butchering video out with John Oliver because that was just great. Not great, it's sad. It's actually really sad where we're at. And funny, all this stuff can be solved with a simple TNID and identity.
Yes, exactly.
You just need to know who people are. But so Bill cooperated. Avi contacted Bill separately, told him, you're my military brother, although I'm not sure what military he was in. And then we started the conversations back and forth with myself and him, which, look, I've got text messages. I've got everything. I was communicating with him and his clown lawyer. You're a clown. Romeo, I'm not done with you yet either. Do whatever you want. You send everything you want. We're right here. And up until a couple of months ago. So I think, you know, at the beginning, we didn't think Avi was involved in it. But the truth is, Avi's the only smart guy in the room. The rest of these guys couldn't go anywhere. I mean, it was just a SPAC scam. It's just a SPAC thing. Avi put all these companies together and said, we're baby Twilio, ran it up to 800-900 million in market cap and got it down to what 20, 30.
Yeah.
And then sold the assets and, you know, raised a bunch of debt on it. The guy's just a genius.
Yes.
But, you know, and many conversations with him, a lot of them with him telling me how many people he's killed all the years and how bad he felt about it. And up until recently, he wanted to settle. He said, look, I want to settle with Bill. I don't want to die knowing that I screwed anybody. Meanwhile, there's lawsuits up and down, get capital. I mean, so look, at the end of the guy, it's hard to dislike him. I mean, you get on the phone with this guy, I don't care who you are. He's going to run you around the block. But look, here we are now. And they're pointing fingers. The Csar pointed some stuff out. Rick Joyce, like I told him from day one. And I'm going to put all the stuff, all my communications out there, guys. You guys want my stuff? Well, now you're going to get it.
Yeah.
And it's really not even about Bill Peters. Bill Peters, an American Air Force major. This guy flew 10,000 sorties.
Yeah.
This guy, his first oath is for the country.
Exactly.
Not you, Calera. Not you, Tata. It's for the United States of America.
Exactly.
And he's honest as the day is born. And since, you know, look, they destroyed this guy's life. We put out resumes. We sent it to Cineverse. Oh, nothing. And they got some serious, amazing Air Force people over at Cineverse too, but they're just a bunch of bitches. They're all a bunch of bitches out there. Every one of you. We sent resumes over to people. Nobody would even talk to Bill. And this is the top CFO guy in the industry. So yeah, I'm going to scream. And you know what? We are going to light it up now, because when you got a guy like Troutman that can basically call out, what's going on here. So first you have the issue of, why was the campaign registry even created? What was the point? Twilio's stock went down billions of dollars because they said, well, we had to be compliant with the campaign registry. So, but okay, we're happy we did it. What compliance? It doesn't do anything except gives the carriers your money.
Exactly.
Right? Which is okay. I mean, look, they're entitled, but the way they did it and the way they colluded and set up the campaign registry without the CTIA. I mean, iConnective won that bid originally, right?
Exactly.
With the CTIA.
Yeah.
It would have probably worked. iConnective would have had enough stones to basically say, hey, look, we're here to stop spam, aren't we?
Yes, exactly.
No, we're here to bill for it. So carriers are making a penny for spam right now. Big book. They're letting it happen.
Yeah.
And don't get me started on stir shaking and that insanity over there. But look, we got Troutman. We got a lot of information now coming, and there's more going to come, because I'm going to start putting it out. And I just want to close this chapter, close this door. This ain't about hurting Tata, your people.
No.
Some executive made a bad decision, got their pants pulled down by Avi Katz. And Cinch, look, I have all the respect in the world for your company, but one of your employees decides he wants to do whatever they want to do. You need to police that, especially when you're the P2P hub for Verizon in the U.S. You guys got to pay attention and respect our country at the end of the day, because we're living in a screwed up world. And I'm not Rick Joyce. I don't have the top security clearance in the country, but I know the industry, as we know the industry, Alan. And it's just exciting. It's exciting to start closing this door, and they keep prodding, because all Littler cares about is building. They don't care if they win or lose, because they're going to blame it on the client. You guys screwed up. Anyway, pay me $2 more million.
Exactly.
And all of the other infractions that are going to come out, the SEC violations. I mean, they hired Robert Stebbins, who was the was a head counsel for the SEC. Yeah. Where's he getting? How's anybody nailing him? Now they hire big time law firm, top 10 law firm in the country, to come in and say, nah, they're xenophobes. No, we're not xenophobes at the end of the day. And we're far from xenophobe. My parents are come off the boat from a different country. Rick Joyce's, same thing. Exactly. There's no xenophobes here. But that was that whole narrative with Eric Peskins. He started that. The guy, which is my favorite show in the world. You understand? You know that, Alan. You know how big a fan I am of Commerce and the work that they do. And I don't know what happened there. I don't know if the MEF board with Calera got to him because he was doing interviews with Soren and Bruner, the other Trump, the other MAGA company. And I don't really care at the end of the day. But look, he made one mistake out of 99. The Comms show is amazing. And he went out and called Rick Joyce a xenophobe. And then, I tried to contact him. He ain't talking to you. You're not at his level at the end of the day. The guy knows what he's talking about. And he'll write you and dictionary you up the street at the end of the day. But look, like I said, I love their show. I love Comms Risk. I love the work he does. It's important. You know me, big fan. And even the rest of these trade organizations. I want to apologize to MEF. I want to apologize to Cloud Communication, who's out there supporting you, probably because they don't want to hear us yelling at them. I really don't think they even. But look, these organizations are important, and they're just catering halls. You're just a catering hall. They all talk about, they do whatever they got to do to get people in a room to discuss business, and it's important because the industry is in trouble.
Yes.
Unless you listen to McKinsey and they tell you they're $1 trillion. Although, you're sure that's not in lira, the $1 trillion?
The lira doesn't exist anymore.
But that's okay. They can look. It's all CPSAI, lipstick on pigs everywhere.
Exactly.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
But look, bright shining light.
One thing I would like to highlight is Utuk, the CEO for Vicente, did a great post on the crisis the messaging industry is.
I hear from Kevin Graham, and you know how much respect I have for Kevin Graham. Advantage, most straight up #1 dad on the planet. The guy's honest. He tells me this guy Uka's a real deal.
Exactly.
Uku, whatever his name is.
Exactly.
But he's small, but there's nothing they can do about it. There's nothing they're going to do when the mobile network operators want their money.
Yes.
Bitch, better get my money. They don't care. Give me upfront payments.
Yes.
A lot of them funded by you, Mr. Twilio, and your prepaid marketing expenses, because you hide that because there's a lot of envelopes, there's a lot of cash deals. And look, that's just the way it works in the rest of the world. It's only illegal in the US. It's not illegal anywhere else. No, it's not.
Europe
it's
and
not.
a lot of developed countries.
Yeah, Europe pretends when they're looking the other way. It's not illegal. That I can go have a whole history lesson with you on that.
Yeah.
And how that was that should never ever been. It created an unlevel playing field.
Yes.
In business in the world, because it's just the way it works. It's just, you're just not going to change it. You know, the sky is blue. Why? Because it is. Right. That's just the way it works. So I don't want to get going on that, but like I said, you know, some positives, bandwidth, great earnings. They're up 80%, 70% in the last 3 months. I called that too. I said, activist investors, why aren't you looking at bandwidth? These guys got great assets. They're up to over $20 a share. We called Link, right?
Absolutely.
Now, Cinch, I wish Cinch would do some stock buybacks because they're at like $2.50. They report profitable earnings, well, EBITDA, which is, I don't know what that means, EBITDA. If you listen to the guys at Berkshire Hathaway, they'll tell you EBITDA is basically irrelevant. But that's okay. This is the playing field they're on now. But they've got 800 million plus outstanding shares. I don't see how they can go up. So, guys, start buying some shares back. So some of the people in it, because you should be, you know, depending on the outstanding shares, you should be a $10, $15 stock. Your market cap should be in the billions, and it's never going to come back. I mean, Twilio lost 70 billion in market cap. I want to put that into perspective for everybody. Last year in the United States, $63 billion was spent by Americans on gambling, casinos, sports gambling, everything. 63 billion. Twilio found a way to lose 70 in market cap. And that's real money lost of real shareholder value.
Exactly.
Now they're crying because if Carl Icahn was here, Twilio would be disbanded. It would be a nightmare. But you've got these little, potato chip activists that own 0.03% of the company. But they're right. At the end of the day, do the buybacks. But the management's not going to listen to them.
Exactly.
Look, they printed up 7% of their market cap. So Twilio management printed up 7%, $700 million in free stock for their employees. So it's just it's a cash grab over there. And we've been following that, and we'll get more into it on another podcast. And and the Twilio, and because they still have that on their hands. I mean, how do you answer for paying Twilio $750 million? And what was the unique deal that Twilio got? Where was the anti-competitiveness? What happens now that Vonage has got to deal with AT&T? Do they pay the fees? But you know what? Nobody's going to fight because you're all bitches. Every one of you. You're all bitches, and you're all part of the cabal, and I get it, and it's totally okay. But as far as what they did to Bill Peters, and as far as what they're trying to do to us, not going to fly. So we're going to scream, and I hope the Czar, because nobody's as smart as the guy. I mean, the guy just looked at it and went bang. I mean, really. And I told like two of the lawyers that called me, go, well, he's this, and he's got an ego. I'm like, he should. He's smarter than you guys. It's like the Viz. The Viz comes in. I'm smarter than you guys. You guys are going that way. I'm going this way. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with, we need egos. We need confidence. Let me tell you something about the Viz and the birds, because I get stuff from Twilio employees going, I don't really care what happens as long as I get my severance. He's got everybody lockstep. That's the sign of a good leader. Wilkie Favre, Avi Katz, all you guys, you spent millions and millions of dollars. You realize that when they tried to clean this on, they brought in DL Piper. Avi was crying on the phone, I don't want to go to jail. Because we didn't talk about the embargo traffic. No. Which was illegal here. We didn't talk about the USF, Universal Service Fee. Bear with, you pay Universal Service Fee. My understanding, Soren Schatz's the one to help you with that at the end of the day, and some other people. Now, all of a sudden, what, Clara gets away with all of it? So look, there's just enough of stuff over here. You want to come poke? You want to go knock on Alan's door at 8 o'clock at night? Well, we're going to now just lay it out.
Exactly. The information's there. The facts are there.
Whether or not anything happens or not, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to us. But we might have to go to X now. Alan still thinks the guy at YouTube is his friend. Meanwhile, none of our 18,000 subscribers are getting our videos. They started to go a little bit.
Yes.
The viz went up to $3,000, and then bang, they halted us. Shocking material.
Yeah.
What's shocking is the level of censorship, and all we're doing is telling the truth.
Yep.
And
Exactly.
come back down to identity. Come back down to what Noah put out, and I can't wait to get the guy from Secura, Mark Henry, here. This guy's got 75 carriers.
Yes.
What are you doing, Mark? What's going on? You know what I mean? I heard other companies trying to rip him off to whatever is going on. Identity. We need to solve the problem.
Exactly. It is
out there. It needs to be solved. The pig butchering is sad. I mean, and I watched this show on telemarketing. You got to see the show on telemarketing on the scam going on there. They keep 90% of the money, taking money from old people at home. Yeah, I'll give you $45. They just call people all day long and take their money. Yep. How is this stuff even legal? And now the article that Troutman put out today.
Yes, with, selling your data.
Yep. She's selling her donor list.
Yes.
Why would you sell your donor list? Yeah. These are people that are giving you money. So think about how insane, and the data privacy issues around the campaign registry that are brought up that we got to get into.
Yeah.
More stuff that I'm sure you're going to get, because there's a lot more stuff in what Bill Peters sent out than what you have right now.
Exactly.
And I'm going to start putting it out. I don't really care anymore. I was trying to get down this thing. I want to see Bill win, and he will win, except it's a kangaroo court. So let me tell you how it works in arbitration. Mm-hmm. Both sides pick one of the arbitrators. And these are, supposedly reputable people.
Yeah.
So Calera picks a guy that was co-counsel with Littler. Co-counsel. So right away, he gets a vote, no matter what happens.
Exactly.
Then the other side picks somebody that's more employee friendly. Then they pick a third guy out of whoever's left. And depending on the luck of the draw is depending on which way you get ruled against.
Exactly.
And look, these guys play hard, man. They play hard because they're getting paid big money. It's big law.
Yep.
Like Troutman calls it, big law.
Exactly.
And big law doesn't play. And look, Rick was big law DC.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Big law in telecom. These are big law. This is not a joke, and they're coming after us. But you know what? There's nothing to come. Truth.
Yep.
Let's go.
Exactly.
You want all that stuff? Here you go. We got more stuff coming. We got to get the Viz back on.
Absolutely.
For a bunch of reasons.
Oh yeah.
Because I need to do, because we're going to do a CPOs for sale party. So Tintech's not for sale, because a gentleman who runs a carrier in the U.S. goes, Tintech's not for sale. I said, you're right. Tintech's not for sale. CPO's for sale. So CPO Partners, who Thorsten is making him clean his bathroom right now, is for sale. Thorsten wants to replace him. We need to find a replacement for CPO Partners. And all you got to do is get along with Thorsten. But you know what? We have the best. Bird, just like I told Twilio. Twilio's out there hiring people left and right internationally and paying big deposits.
Yes.
They should have bought Tintech, right?
No, it makes a lot of sense.
Bird, you got a lot of people who are going to come after you very soon that have all these gateway deals. Tintech's got some gateway deals. Their margins are bigger now too. Why? Because they're doing the same thing Cinch is doing. They're doing the same thing Infobit's doing. Why? Because they have to. They have to survive. Because like Scott Warner put in that post, how did you get 30% margins when everything's crunching? Because they're doing these gateway deals. Because Tintech had a couple of really good gateway deals to increase value. And you know what? That's up to the mobile operator. It's not up to Cinch or Infobip. So I'm going to defend. And quite frankly, I don't really care if you're overbilling Google or WhatsApp. I'm not WhatsApp or Facebook. If that's what you're going to do, because SMS is here to stay, just like your friend said on that brilliant podcast, who's RCS.
Yeah.
But in the USA, why was the campaign registry started? Infobip, where are you? Cineverse, where are you? Got net number, where are you?
Yeah.
Aegis, who cares where you are? WMC, I haven't heard a word from you guys in a long time.
Yeah.
You guys have an unbelievable reputation. Mobile operators, what are you going to do here? T-Mobile, come investigate us. Investigate all of us. Bring in your lawyers. Come and look what happened here. What's going on here? Who did what? Because I'm sure that's not your company policy.
Exactly.
But at the end of the day, it's wrong. And Tata's out there put the letter out. The minute they took over, they put out a letter. So they had they were in breach.
All the TCR partners.
Yeah. Well, to the ones they wanted to. Right? They picked and choose. But
that's right.
Evidently, so they have that. That's against the violations. But it's funny how the TCR, when they're talking to the FCC, says, "Nah, we don't really do anything." Really? But everybody else says it's compliance.
I know. Yeah,
You're sanctioned. Sanctioned to do what?
exactly.
What are you sanctioned to do?
Yeah.
To get other people, businesses and companies information? Where does that go? Who has it? Where are the numbers? How come spam is 10 times more? How come you can rotate numbers? How about all the pit butchering? I mean, let's put them on a show. Guys, what do you really do? And they're trying to blend in with the rest of the monopolies. Like, no, we're all
Yeah.
part of these monopolies, whether it be Zip Whip or this or that. But make no mistake about it, Julio, you were taken down. You were taken down by the operators, and they took you apart because they wanted to get a piece of what you had. Your market cap was matching them. The fact that you were completely misrun with a Willy Wonka lunacy, with the last CEO who was he paid the head lady a segment $35 million. $35 million to do 290 million in revenue. She left, yeah. 35 million. I mean, who doesn't? I mean, this is insanity.
Yeah.
But that's okay, because now the chickens come to roost, but they're fighting over that 5 billion. Because between cash in the bank and equity and prepaid expenses, you know, margins aren't really what they're there, but we'll get into that too. They're fighting over that money. And but we got to keep going. Bird is a bright shining light. Troutman's a shining light. We got to solve this problem.
And the similarity between Eric and Bird is simply they focus on truth.
Truth, guys come and tell us. What did Bird say on a call with on a podcast? I want everybody to understand about Robert Bird and who I've never met him. Although I did meet his people many years ago in Vegas when they were little, and Thorsten was like, "Oh, they're nothing, they're nobody, whatever." And I told him, like, "What are you guys doing?" Like, "I don't know, we got to go raise money." I said, "You should be raising money like crazy." What did they do? They went to San Francisco. They went to Y Combinator. He became a superstar. He's a flat out superstar. I bet on him. How do you got to bet on the driver of the car? That's who you bet on. You don't bet on the car. You put me in a race car, I'm going to crash into every wall. You put a guy like that, you're betting on the driver. So I want to talk to him about, when is this IPO coming out, Robert? And what are we doing here? And you should be buying Tintech. Absolutely. Because whatever you think you have out there with SS7 or whatever you built, it ain't what Tintech has. I promise you. So whoever's out there, but I think the industry's solid. I think AI is going to serve it well, because we know what's going on, but investors want to put their money somewhere, and it's gonna be okay. You know what I mean? For the whole industry out there, it's gonna be all right.
Oh yeah. No, I mean, it's fundamental.
And CM.com. Can somebody tell CM.com to make a move? You're like at $7. We can double and triple you. I can't get nothing out of you guys. You know, it is what it is.
Exactly.
It's going to take a while for Bird's pricing to come in. He's going to playing with some big boys on the payment side. He's going to a big level. I don't know if he's still talking to the guys at Twilio or what's going to happen over there, but I don't see anybody buying it. I see just a baby fight over there. And, you know, look, a lot of options being bought. A lot of institutionals are riding it. Kathy Wood is selling it.
Yes.
Who's a big, you know, ARC. She's selling it one way. But, you know, if you want to know how stock's doing, go into the chat rooms. Nobody cares. Nobody's talking about it anymore. You know why? Because it's 78% institutional. Yes. Right? It's like Cinch. Cinch is not going to move that much. No. They put out great earnings. You get profitable. 30% gross margin.
Exactly.
However you want to look at it, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And their stock goes down.
I know. That was shocking.
Because of the outstanding shares.
Yeah.
So they're going to be here. They're going to be around. Pay attention. Clean your house up, because you're running a hub in the USA.
Yes.
And point some fingers and stop hiding in the background like, oh, we're just happy to be here. Guys, you're a great company. You're important. You're important in Sweden. All I keep hearing is how you're the second, biggest company in Sweden that was founded there. Well, act that way. Come over here and be the Cinch you got to be.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. Because we came to you as well. Yeah. And nothing. Crickets. And guy Robert Gershman couldn't be a nicer guy. I mean, but we'll get into some stories with him and Thorsten in the early days. And like I said, guys, I learned this industry from Tintech and from Thorsten and from the old CEO of Irish Wireless and some other characters that I had working over there. It's fascinating, but SMS is here to stay. The industry is here to stay.
Oh, yeah. Just a lot more fragmented.
A lot of people, even the people that work at Claire, all these people, a lot of good people. These organizations, Gary Obetti, I apologize to you personally. Not because I did anything wrong to you. Just that, look, you serve a purpose. The Roccos, all these different, they serve a purpose. Even the CPAS AA, They all serve a purpose, which gives a place for people to do business and get hope and go forward. But don't try to be the regulatory bodies here.
Yeah.
And scream for what's right. So we don't like when we get buried. Don't bury us, because we're going to come bury you. We're here to stay. And just like Troutman says he's the smartest, or Bird says he's the best, our team, this guy, Mr. Alan Quayle, myself, and a few other guys, we're locked, full stop. We got everybody's number. We got everything that's going on in this industry. We know where things are going. And if you would have listened to us the last 7 months, you'd have made a fortune just betting on everything we say, which way to go. We told you on the Twilio short, told you about link, told you about bandwidth. CM, I'm not going to commit to you until I know what the hell you're doing. But it's a great buy. You know, a few dollars a share. You can put 5, 10 grand in, double, triple your money. Come on.
Exactly.
So Wall Street's listening to us.
Absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt. So that was
All right,
great,
buddy.
Johnny. Thanks so much.
I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye, kid.